This is an educational example based on my personal approach. Results vary widely, and nothing here guarantees profit or future performance. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Trading with Ashley show. I hope you're having a wonderful 2026. I know that me and all of my members in my community, we had a very busy trading day. There's a lot to get done. We took a lot of our positions that were in profit from being put the shares earlier, and we sold covered calls on them. Now, that's a way to hedge your portfolio. It provides a little bit of green in your portfolio if the market starts to pull back. Now, I did a full video on the hedges. We took other hedges. We're starting the process of hedging our portfolios, and we're going in phases. Now, if you want full access to all of my trades and all of my support throughout the trading day, consider taking the quiz below. It's in the description, and that will help guide you on the important next steps so that you can be a part of all the fun with us. Now, this trade I'm about to show you, I'm really excited about. We actually put this trade on in the community on Friday, and now it's not as lucrative of an opportunity, but you could put a limit order in for this trade. It still gives you a really good risk to reward, and it involves a put credit spread. Now, I'm just doing one of these, and I'll explain why. A put credit spread is great for traders with a small account because they don't need a lot of capital to put on the trade. But this trade really comes alive if you have a larger account and you can support the sold put without the purchased put. The reason I like to do a trade this way, if I think there might be a pullback in the coming days, but then the stock will potentially rebound, I like doing it this way because the purchased put will gain value rather quickly if we have a pullback in the market. And then as we get closer to the expiration date, if it looks like I need to roll the trade, that's usually not an issue. Now, I am using key levels with Robinhood, and I was very strategic with the dates. So I'm going to show you all of that detail. But first, let's talk about why I think that Robinhood will catch a really good run as we get to the mid part of the year. Well, it has a lot to do with liquidity in the market. So as most of you know, with the One Big Beautiful Bill, that a lot of individuals are going to be getting nice tax refunds. Why is that? Well, it's because when they actually made several changes to taxes for 2026, the companies did not change the withholdings of the employees. So basically, they've been holding out more than they needed to for several employees. Now, we know from times in the past when Americans have gotten nice refund checks, that money finds its way into the economy, usually in one of two ways. Usually people go and buy things, so that would bode well for future earnings dates for a lot of our favorite companies. Or it finds its way straight into the market. They go in and invest it, and that would, in fact, lift equities right when it happens. So we are anticipating that a lot of these refunds will come in around that April timeframe. Well, once that money makes its way into the market, June was a very good date that I felt like would be a safer date for a lot of the dynamics to play out for a stock like Robinhood. Because we all know when people have more money in their hands, they're trading more. And when they're trading more, that helps a company like Robinhood. I'm very bullish on Robinhood. And so let me talk through this trade with you. This trade is unique because the risk to reward is really good. Now, these types of trades are not typical. So I want to stress that you have to do your own due diligence and you must consider what your risk tolerance is. But when I see a trade like this and a setup like this, and I know the potential if it goes up or down, and that's the beauty of this trade, I can win in a variety of scenarios, then I like to go ahead and take that setup. I actually looked at a few other tickers that's going to work really well with too. Now, if you're in my community, you'll be able to see all those other tickers that I'm working with as well for this strategy. All right, let's jump into the computer so I can show you the specifics on Robinhood and why you might be interested in a similar setup. Most of you know the first thing I like to do is look at a stock and look at where it is trading technically. Now, when I initially put this trade on last week in the community, Robinhood was trading right here about the 112, 115 mark. But if you look at where it's trading today at 123, there's still an opportunity to look at this trade. So if we look at the RSI, we're still in a bullish mode, so we might keep going up from here before we retreat. But what I want to be focused on right here is this $98 mark. This is the 200-day moving average. Now, if we get below 100, I'm of the belief that we will then either hit this and bounce, or right as we get below 100, we won't even spend much time right here, and then we will go ahead and see a rebound. Robinhood has so much potential for the future. I think it's one of those stocks that people will feel like they're getting a really good bargain if they can get it under the triple digits. So that's why I went with the strike prices that you're about to see, because I'm of the belief that if we hit this area anytime in the first couple of months of the year, that it will serve as the launch pad to go higher for the remainder of the year. Here is the trade put on a ticker, and as you can see, I use the exact same expiration dates, 6/18, for both of these. I started with the 1/15 sold put, and then I made a purchase of the 1/10 put. The reason I went with the June timeframe was that this will allow that cycle that I just showed you to play out, and going up this far does reduce my risk of early assignment. And so if I put the trade together, I'm doing one contract because I want to actually be able to go ahead and close this 110 purchased put and leave this 115 sold put available. Now, if I leave the 115 sold put available, if I'm just working with straight cash, not margin, I would need $11,500 for this portion of the trade. But if I'm just going to leave it as a spread and not break it apart, then I would only need $500 because the distance between 115 and 110 is 5. You multiply that by 100, and that's $500 required to put on the trade. But here's where the trade really brings so much value. You see here the credit. This was the credit we received. Currently, it's paying about $223, but you could put in a limit order and it might work out in your favor. But for the trade that we made, I was able to get $250 in premium. And the reason that's so great is my total risk on the trade is only $250 because I received such a large premium up front. The other thing is the actual return. If you look at this return annualized, it's really something to behold. The reason the return is so appealing is I was able to take $500, and by doing the spread and getting $250 for the spread, I was able to enjoy a 50% return in a 6-month period. Well, if you annualize that, you can just multiply it by 2, and there's a 100% return. Now, there are risks to this trade. I want to go through them, but return like that helps lower your risk because you're getting such an aggressive premium up front. So what I want to do next is talk about if the market pulls back in the early part of January, maybe February, and if it pulls back to that important level of support that I showed you, what will this purchase put be worth? And at that point, I'd be interested in breaking apart the spread. Let me take you to the option calculator to see that. If you look at this trade on the option calculator, you can see June the 18th right here. This is the 110 put. This is the one that I purchased. Now let's look at the various scenarios that can happen. So if we come here below 100, let's go ahead and see if I can't adjust this so I can get something closer to 98, since that's where we saw that it may take a bounce at. Okay, right here. Good. If we get to 98, and let's say that happens maybe in the January timeframe or even February, if it happens in January, I'm going to get close to $1,000 on this portion of the trade. If it happens closer to February, then look, you can see that this part of the trade will profit about $780. So that's really wonderful to see. But again, as you know, the risk in this trade is if I want to take profit on, let's say, this $800 right now, then I will have to leave the other portion of the trade vulnerable. So let's talk through those dynamics. If I have that 115 sold put, that puts me right about here when you look at the price life cycle. Now, if as we get closer to June, we are anywhere close to 115, and if I'm afraid of assignment at that point, then at that point I would roll this trade and I would roll it down and out. I would more than likely be able to at that time get anything close to 100, which would more than likely be a great level of support as we discussed. Now, the one thing you want to consider on this is if we have a very large drop and we drop, let's say, down to 75, then that 115 sold put, that's not going to be an easy roll. It won't be an easy situation to get out of. And if we're anywhere within a couple of weeks of the expiration date, then there's a higher likelihood that you would get assigned the shares. So this only works if Robinhood supports its various levels of support and if it is trading higher than 115 on the date of expiration. But hopefully I was able to bring you through my thought process on why I think that might happen and why this may end up being a really good opportunity. Just remember that all trading carries risks. So you never want to blindly follow anybody, and you definitely want to use risk management. Like I said, the best part about a trade like this is you don't fear the red. If the market pulls back, we're far enough out in the future where we don't have to worry too much about early assignment. And then if it does pull back, that's going to provide an incredible opportunity to go ahead and take profit on that purchased put, and then we'll deal with rolling the sold put when the time is right. Remember, if you're with me trading with Ashley, there is no trader left behind. Now, if you want to see several different ways that you can hedge your portfolio, I worked really hard on a video over the weekend. I'm going to leave that video for you right here.